But before we get into all those main topics, we got one thing to talk about here off the top. And that first thing is kind of a bummer. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little bit of a bummer to me. See, a little while ago, there was a report, and we talked about it here on this show, that Jason Statham and Kevin Hart, who of course were just together sort of in Hobbs and Shaw, they were doing a new movie together called The Man from Toronto. It's going to be a comedy, and I was excited because I thought the stylings of these two guys would work together really well. Well, forget that. Despite the fact that the movie The Man from Toronto was set to start filming in just 4 weeks, Jason Statham has, at the last minute, dropped out of the film. This report comes to us from Deadline, basically saying that they believe that one of the main things at the core of it was the fact that Jason Statham wanted the film to be more R-rated, and that the studio didn't want to be. And so there's that happening. Now, on top of all that, it also describes the fact that Statham has parted ways with his agency, WME, around about the same time. Now, there's no official word that says that those two things are connected, but obviously they probably are. There's a couple of things about this. Number one, I am a big fan of Jason Statham. I've been a huge fan of his, well, ever since Snatch, obviously with his stuff in all the action films he's done. I'm a big fan. I even liked him in Meg, even though I didn't think Meg was all that great. The Crank movies he's incredible in. I'm just a fan of Jason Statham, okay? I'm just a fan of Jason Statham. And I really would have liked to see this, but I gotta wonder here, what the hell is he doing? Like, you knew if this movie was going to be an R-rated film or not, did you not, before you signed up for it? And why, like, if you get down to the moment now that it's like 4, 5, 6 weeks away from when you actually start shooting, why drop out now? Unless there was some kind of major shift at the studio. If there was some kind of major shift at the studio and they all of a sudden were saying to Jason Statham, we're not going to make the movie that you thought you were signing up for, because if they were telling him initially, yeah, this is going to be an R-rated action comedy, great. And then at the last minute, they decide to make it a PG-13 thing, which is not what Jason Statham signed up for, then I can understand him, going, well, listen, then I don't want to be a part of it. That's not kind of what I signed up to be in. I signed up to be in a different kind of movie. If that's the case, I completely understand. But as a fan of Jason Statham, I got to say, if he knew the whole time that this was going to be a PG-13 film, and he just thought he could use his weight to make them change it to an R, which I wouldn't understand that at all, well, then I got to say, what the hell are you thinking? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand it. Anyway, the bottom line is, I was looking forward to seeing Kevin Hart and Jason Statham in this movie together. I thought this sounded like it could be really good, and I love the fact that Toronto is in the name of the movie, but it's not happening. Anyway, guys, what do you think about that? Maybe you didn't care about this movie. Maybe you're like me and you were pretty excited about it. Jump down into the comments section below and let me know your thoughts. All right.